Welcome to the Rundown with Nerd Union. I'm Taryn Bell, reporting for April 30th, 2021. In movie news, Marvel's The Eternals' true lead has been confirmed by Kevin Feige. Digital Spy recounted an interview Feige recently did with Variety, where he specifically says, "There were some characters that we changed from male to female. There were some characters that we knew how we were altering them from the books. But then it also came down to casting. So for Cersei, for instance, and if there was a lead in this ensemble, it would be Cersei. It is Gemma Chan. We looked at and read all sorts of women for that part and ended up really believing that Gemma was best for it." Taika Waititi has been posting behind-the-scenes photos on his Twitter, and the direct points out that the latest set includes a galactic setting in the background. Waititi was recently reunited with his daughters after honoring COVID quarantine measures, and the black and white photos he shared shows them affectionately spending time together as he directs the scenes. Dropping today on Disney+, Pixar's new animated short, 22 vs. Earth, is a prequel to Soul, showing why 22 doesn't want to calm down to Earth. The Verge interviewed director Kevin Nothing, who said, "I didn't want the short to be a mirror of what she was like in the feature. In looking at what the story would be, the interesting thing for me is what makes her who she is in the feature. This is one of those incidents. In the beginning, she was one of those innocent souls. What was the process to make her the cynical soul she is when Joe Gardner shows up? This is just one step in that process." ET Canada has noted that photos have surfaced of Nicole Kidman and Javier Bardem on set of the Being the Ricardos biopic. In the Aaron Sorkin written and directed project, Kidman will star as Lucille Ball and Bardem as Desi Arnaz. Being the Ricardos takes place over 1 week of filming the beloved sitcom I Love Lucy, where both their careers and their marriage face a crisis. There was some controversy over casting Kidman, but Ball and Arnaz's daughter, Lucy Arnaz, showed support for the choice, saying, "Aaron has done a wonderful job of bringing these characters to life, and it's just a little slice of life in their journey. It's not the whole story. It's not a biopic from cradle to grave. It is a 2-hour feature film about these two people and some of the remarkable things they lived through." AV Club reports that Dominic Fishbach of Judas and the Black Messiah will be co-starring with Anthony Ramos of Hamilton and In the Heights in the new Transformer movies, though details beyond that are vague. It's one of the two that are currently in the works, with this one being directed by Stephen Caple Jr. from Creed 2. The other is being made by Angel Manuel Soto, and we also know nothing about that. This one will be in theaters on June 24, 2022, so hopefully Paramount can figure out a plot and stuff before then. Deadline points out that Fishbach and Ramos have been friends for years and that they were in a play together in college, so fingers crossed. Deadline has also reported on Viola Davis's upcoming Tri-Stars picture, The Woman King, gaining co-star Thuso Mbedu, who is in the upcoming The Underground Railroad series, in the Gina Price Bythewood directed film. The statement released by Viola Davis and Julius Tenon of Juvie Productions was glowing in esteem. The depth and complexity of emotional life, her authentic beauty, and regalness is potent. We were mesmerized by Thuso Mbedu. We wanted Woman King / Nawi to be the vehicle to introduce her on the big screen. The Woman King is a historical epic inspired by true events that took place in the Kingdom of Dahomey, one of the most powerful states of Africa in the 18th and 19th centuries. The story follows Naniska, general of the all-female military unit, and Nawe, an ambitious recruit who together fought enemies who violated their honor, enslaved their people, and threatened to destroy everything they've lived for. Finally, Deadline announced that Journey Smollett will be joining Allison Janney in the upcoming Netflix movie Lou, with both starring and executive producing. Anna Forrester, known for Outlander, Westworld, Carnival Row, Underworld, Blood Wars, will be directing the film. Written by Maggie Kahn, a massive storm rages in Lou. A young girl is kidnapped. Her mother, with no other option, teams up with the mysterious older woman next door to pursue the kidnapper, a journey into the wilderness that will test their limits and expose dark and shocking secrets from their past. Hulu released episodes 1 through 3 of The Handmaid's Tale 4th season on Hulu a day earlier than expected this past Tuesday. The other 7 episodes will be released weekly, according to /Film. In The Handmaid's Tale Season 4, June, played by Elizabeth Moss, strikes back against Gilead as a fierce rebel leader, but the risks she takes bring unexpected and dangerous new challenges. Her quest for justice and revenge threatens to consume her and destroy her most cherished relationship. There's a lot of buzz around the new trailer for Netflix fantasy series Sweet Tooth, as reported by Yahoo Entertainment. Based on Jeff Lemire's acclaimed DC comic series, the drama is set 10 years after a deadly virus, aka the Great Crumble, wreaked havoc on the world and somehow led to the creation of hybrid babies who were part human, part animal. Sweet Tooth follows one of those hybrids, Gus, played by Christian Convery, who is part deer and lives in a secluded home in the forest because humans hunt hybrids. Eventually, Gus befriends a wandering loner named Jeopard, played by Nanzo Ananzi, and together they set off to explore what's left of America and find answers about their origins and more. Comicbookmovie.com has breaking news on HBO Max's Green Lantern live-action series. Warner Brothers Television has announced this morning that two-time primetime Emmy nominee Finn Wittrock of American Horror Story Ratched has been cast in the lead role of Guy Gardner in HBO Max's upcoming Green Lantern live-action series. He'll be one of many Green Lanterns to appear in the series, with the streamer describing his character as a hulking mess of masculinity and, as rendered in the comics, an embodiment of 1980s hyper-patriotism. And yet, Guy is somehow likable. Hope it's good. HBO Max's Doom Patrol has added 5 new casts to their next season. According to Deadline, Micah Jo Parker, Wynn Everett, Miles Musadin, Anita Califara, and Gina Hirazumi will join the cast of HBO Max's Doom Patrol in recurring roles. While filming for the upcoming HBO Max series Peacemaker, John Cena turned 44 last week, and photos celebrating his birthday show him in his Peacemaker outfit, drenched in blood. Comicbookmovie.com notes, we don't know a huge amount about Peacemaker, but it's previously been reported that the events of the series will unfold prior to the Suicide Squad, making this a prequel to the upcoming movie. And apparently, Doogie Howser MD is getting a reboot over at Disney+. Disney Parks blog recently shared a photo of Peyton Elizabeth Lee visiting Aulani Resort on a break from production on Doogie Kameāloha MD, which is filming in Hawaii. Set in modern-day Hawaii, the 10-episode comedy follows Lahaila Doogie Kameāloha, a 16-year-old prodigy juggling a budding medical career and life as a teenager. Guiding Lahaila, and also complicating things, is her family, including her Spitfire mother, who's also her supervisor at the hospital, and her local boy father, struggling to accept that his daughter is no longer his little girl. The Direct reports that a photo of Jeremy Renner and Alaqua Cox in their new Hawkeye and Echo suits for the series originally appeared on Cox's Instagram, though they have since been deleted, but not before they were captured by a fan who posted it on Twitter. The Direct says it isn't surprising that this photo was taken down so quickly by Alaqua Cox from her Instagram account, considering the massive repercussions that the photo teased about the plot of Hawkeye. The fact that Cox can be seen wearing a suit that is closely tied to her Marvel character could hint that Echo's heroic transition will be shown in Hawkeye. It remains to be seen if Echo will serve as an ally or a villain to Jeremy Renner's Marvel's hero, but it's possible that she will pursue the Avenger first, which will eventually lead to intense face-off. And for FX's finale season of Pose, TV Line notes that co-creator Stephen Canals spoke in a press conference about the arc of the show. From the moment that co-creator Ryan Murphy and I first met to talk about what Pose could be, we had a very specific ending in mind. And if you watch the season, and more specifically the story we tell in the finale, that was what it was always intended to be. If you go back to the first season, everything was a setup for this final chapter. Stories have a beginning, middle, and end, and this final season was the end of the 3-arc narrative that we've been telling. In gaming news, PCGamesN.com reports that Brie Larson took to Twitter to support Able Gamers and its creator, Alana Pierce, in bringing awareness to the $1 million fundraiser for Able Gamers in partnership with the Spawn Together initiative. Brie Larson says, using the power of video games to bring people and provide people with disabilities custom gaming setups so they can enjoy video games too is just absolutely incredible. If you don't know about their work, please check out Able Gamers. Support their work. I know I will be. Polygon reveals that Pixar's Onward now has a tabletop game, Quest of Yore, Barley's Edition. Apparently, publisher The OP Games announced it was making a lavish new tabletop role-playing starter set based on the film. More than just a movie tie-in, it's a family-friendly TTRPG with all the fixins and a meaty campaign. For those who enjoyed Onward or took comfort in its message of hope and inspiration, this is the perfect way to extend that experience at the table. Of course, this isn't just a copy of Quest of Yore. It's the very same copy that main characters Barley, Chris Pratt, and Ian, played by Tom Holland, grew up playing, complete with wear and tear, notes in the margin, and just a hint of Cheetos dust, or whatever Cheetos are called in the Onward universe. In conventions, IGN reports that DC Fandom will be back October 16th. The DC Comics event will once again feature news and guest stars related to Batman, Aquaman, and the rest of the game when it kicks off. A short clip invited fans to say the date for what it's calling a global experience. It is unclear at this time whether it will be a live event or another virtual event. DC Fandom found success as a virtual event in August 2020, having been conceived in the wake of the cancellation of San Diego's Comic-Con that same year. Remember to subscribe to Nerd Union's Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube channels for our live shows, news updates, and our upcoming videos series on movies, games, TV, and more. Special shout out to our Nerd Union Patreons. We appreciate your monthly contributions, which helps us put out content like this. Doug Schumann, Vici, Shelby Johnson, and Nelge Cherry. Till next time, I'm Taryn Bell, and this has been The Rundown with Nerd Union. Thanks.